Well, how you guys doing today? Kind of snowy and cold, kind of a normal January, February day out there today, but thought I'd do something a little bit different. I've done this before, actually about a year and a half ago or so, but I found this book at a thrift store called Ohio Road Trips by Neil Zurcher. It's a second edition of the book. It was written in 2009 or 2010, I believe. So really not terribly old compared to some of these that just get outdated because the locations are no longer relevant. But interesting thing about this book is it has 52 trips, hundreds of fun and unusual getaway ideas in this book. And this man who wrote it, it says that he logged more than 1,000,000 miles on Ohio's roads over 25 years as a TV travel reporter and original host of the One Tank Trips show, which aired in Cleveland and was imitated in other television markets throughout the U.S. He also wrote Ohio Oddities and Strange Tales from Ohio. Now, I like this one tank trip idea. I mean, you know, one tank of fuel and one day trip. Let me turn to page 127. This is Northwest Ohio, of course, and there's so many places in here that would be great to check out, and it's unbelievable to think that he actually went to all these and in just one state, and it really makes you think how many places there really are to see out there. And even in the smallest little areas, a township or a county, there's more than you could imagine in just a small distance or a short radius, if you really look for it. And that's what I always try to do, you know, see the places that other people may pass by or, you know, forget, and try to bring them back to life in some way. These are much more, you know, tourist type destinations, of course, but still a great book. So let's take a look at Northwest Ohio. It's categorized by location. So here in the table of contents, we got Central Ohio, then Northeast Ohio, Northwest Ohio, Southwest Ohio, Southeast Ohio, and that's what he got. So those different regions. Looking at Northwest Ohio, first thing you're going to see here is the gateway to the islands, and that is the Guardian of Sandusky Bay, the Marblehead Lighthouse, which I'm sure you guys know well from my videos of the amazing Marblehead Lighthouse State Park. But it says Marblehead Lighthouse has been the guardian of Sandusky Bay on Lake Erie for nearly 200 years. In fact, the light, built in 1822, is the oldest lighthouse in continuous operation on the entire Great Lakes. Tours of the historic lighthouse are available on weekdays and on the second Saturday of each month through October. Of course, you guys know it very well because I toured it. Really awesome time. A view of the lighthouse. It says, well, you can't sleep in a lighthouse here. You can spend the night just a stone's throw away from the rocky shore and historic light. The Lighthouse Resort offers suites for larger families or groups that need more than one bedroom. That's at Lighthouse Resort, 614 East Main Street, Marblehead. And you can call them at 419-624-1119. There you go. Now, I'm not getting, that's not a plug. I'm not getting paid. There's an art gallery in Marblehead. Just a lot of areas, you know, around the same location. There's actually a cool model train exhibit in Marblehead, Trainorama. That definitely sounds interesting. And you may know the prehistoric forest in Irish Hills, Michigan. There's another prehistoric forest. It's in Marblehead, Ohio, and it's actually the second location that is actually still running today. And it says, if you have a kid who just loves dinosaurs or who enjoys optical illusions, I have just the place for you. And it's been around since the 50s. It's the Prehistoric Forest and Mystery Hill, Harbor Road, Marblehead. Interesting. Maybe you have to go check that out. It's not going to be abandoned, but it's going to be interesting. Historic Camp Perry, just east of Port Clinton. Just a lot of cool locations here. Port Clinton, beautiful area, of course, except for the mayflies. What can you do? And here's a really interesting location that I've considered going to. It's the historic Johnson's Island. During the Civil War, Confederate officers were imprisoned on Johnson's Island in Sandusky Bay. Some escaped while others died or were killed here. Today, a Confederate cemetery and a statue of a Confederate soldier are all that remain of this tragic chapter in Sandusky Bay's history. The cemetery is open to visitors. There's a toll fee and can be reached by boat or causeway from the mainland. The rest of the island is strictly private. Now here is a photo of it. I mean, there's basically nothing there. I mean, I don't even know if it's, makes sense to even go. It's interesting. I've driven by for sure because I've done the lighthouse and the keeper's house, and it's right there. And it talks about Kelly's Island, of course. There's a glacier groove, the glacial grooves. I'm gonna just totally screw myself in this. Trying to do one clean take and botching it. Touch of island luxury at Water's Edge Retreat, Kelly's Island. Then caves, wineries, and island adventures in Put-in-Bay. There's the Perry Victory and International Peace Memorial that was vandalized last year. Just unbelievable. An all-chocolate museum that's in Put-in-Bay. The Water Taxi. And Perry's Cave. All part of this book, we're looking at Ohio road trips, and I'm simply focusing on Northwest Ohio, because obviously this video is 6 minutes and 37 seconds now. I mean, imagine if I look through the whole book. All kind of cool stuff. Especially, there's a section on the, oh great, and now I'm going to completely blank and forget it, but the Mansfield Reformatory, thank you! And definitely want to check that out. Cedar Point, of course, and Sandusky Bay. Vermilion. Okay. Finishing this off, the Toledo area, of course my area, Bowling Green, Grand Rapids, Oregon, Perrysburg, Sylvania, Toledo, Waterville, and White House. You can hunt for fossils in Sylvania at Olander Park. Know it very well. You can view the museum ship. It's actually the new Maritime Museum down in downtown Toledo International Park, right where the old Acme coal burning power plant was. But they have a 600-foot long freighter. It's become the permanent part of the downtown skyline in Toledo. The ship, which once hauled ore and steel through the Great Lakes, has now been retired and turned into a floating museum. But be aware that a lot of walking and climbing are required to see this exhibit. Great. Toledo Firefighters Museum, and of course the Erie Street Farmers Market. Museum where you can take home the paintings at the Toledo Museum of Art. Of course, Libby Glass Factory Outlet Store, Fritz and Alfredo's, which is not there anymore. This is outdated. This is now actually closed, actually condemned. If you try to go down to North Summit now, you'll just see basically a burnt out building. Crazy. Tony Packo's, of course, very popular destination in Toledo. Snook's Dream Cars, which is a living history car museum right on County Home Road, Bowling Green. Know it very well, right across from the Wood County Historical Museum. I've never been there. I know it, but I just never stopped. And of course, another one of Ohio's best kept secrets is, of course, the Isaac Ludwig Mill in Grand Rapids. They call it one of the best kept secrets, and Ohio's many metro parks are one of our greatest but least known attractions. Take, for example, the Isaac Ludwig Mill in Providence Metro Park, which is part of the Metro Parks Toledo, of course. Not only is this restored mill a living museum where you can see water power used to saw logs and grind grain, there's also a link to the Miami and Erie Canal, a section of which is also part of the park. And you've seen my videos. Go check it out if you haven't. The Isaac Ludwig Mill Tour. I'll actually put a link to those videos right, maybe like right somewhere right here. But I'm way too close, so up there, that's where the link will be. Click it now and check out those videos I did 2 years ago of the Isaac Ludwig Mill. Maumee Bay State Park, of course. There's Fort Meigs State Memorial. Excellent location. And of course at the Butterfly House in White House, it says butterflies are free almost. If you're looking for a gentle, quiet way to spend a warm summer afternoon, try this place. It's an enclosed garden setting, and you will find hundreds of species of butterflies, many from South America and Asia. As you wander or sit in the gardens, butterflies flit and dart around you, sometimes landing on your arm or head. It may be that butterflies are free, but here you will pay an admission charge to commune with the colorful insects. And one of the most popular events is a butterfly release program held each August. And interesting, this is actually in here. It's the Historical Construction Equipment Museum. That's on Liberty High in Bowling Green. Also, know all these places very well. Quickly, before this video gets really long, Archibald, Defiance, and Bryan. There's Sauter Village up there. Of course, I've been to Gall Woods quite a bit, which is right next to Sauter Village. And here's obviously going on, continuing Northwest Ohio, Bettsville, Bucyrus, Findlay, Fremont, Marion, Upper. The president, Fremont, of course, is on Ohio's Presidential Trail. And there you can see a photo inside the Rutherford B. Hayes Presidential Center, which I visited last winter. Fremont has amazing parks, Sandusky County Park Systems. World's largest antique mall at Jeffrey's Antique Gallery. That's down on Findlay, right off exit 175. Exit 175. I don't know what I'm saying. Exit 161 on I-75 south into Findlay. Got a popcorn museum. Looks interesting. And the Tyro Testicle Festival. Not to leave it on that odd note. There's a barn at Walnut Glen Bed and Breakfast. All barn outside, luxury apartment inside. That's in Waldo. Interesting. And world famous macaroni salad at the Liberty Gathering Place restaurant in West Liberty. Never been down to West Liberty. Seems like they have some good macaroni salad though. And you can sleep in a real American Indian campground. So that brings us to Southwest Ohio, and I'm obviously going to stop there, but I'm talking about the Armstrong Air and Space Museum down in Wapakoneta, on Fort Recovery, Greenville, Lima. Another area I've been to, not as much obviously, because it's just farther from me, but it's a cool book. It's awesome. It's Ohio Road Trip, 2nd edition, Neil Zurcher. I definitely want to be able to check out the Mansfield Reformatory sometime and head south. Maybe go down to the Fort Greenville and, down in Wapakoneta, down kind of south central Ohio. They say it's southwest Ohio. I say that's more like Dayton and Cincinnati than Lima. But anyway, so thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Later.